What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. So, Johto Pokemon are some of my favorite, and maybe just because Umbreon's from the Johto region, you could say that I'm swaying a little, but there are so many good Pokemon in the Johto region. I'd love to make a list on ranking each single mon. Now, this list is something not to be taken seriously. I wanted to make a fun little video just on my opinion, and of course, I don't want to say to you guys, rank every Pokemon down below in the comment section. So, fun question of the day, leave your favorite Johto Pokemon in the comment section below. But today's video is going to be basing ranking all Pokemon from the Johto region to a 1 to 10. Now, I'll try and give a few lines as to why I rank these Pokemon at this certain rank, I guess, if that makes sense. It isn't something too serious, and I just thought it'd be a bit of fun for a video. I have literally the whole Johto Pokédex here up on my phone, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So, sit back and enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so number 1, Chikorita. I'd say Chikorita would be a strong 5. It's one of those starters where I don't necessarily pick all the time. It's one of my friend's favorite Pokemon, so I guess I'll give it a rating just because of that. Bayleaf, again, I'd say a strong 6. It's not one of the best Pokemon in the world. I prefer Bayleaf over Meganium, to be fair. Meganium, again, comes in around a strong 4 for me. It's a cool design. I love the fact that whenever I always catch one, I always call them strawberries, just because I love the flower petals on them for some reason. It doesn't look like a strawberry at all, and I have no idea why I do it. I just do. Cyndaquil. I have to give this thing a strong 8. I absolutely love Cyndaquil. It's one of my favorite Johto starters. It's my go-to starter Pokemon if I'm going to play through a Johto game. For Lava, I'd say a strong 8 again. Really cool design. I absolutely love it. And Typhlosion, I would have to give it a strong 8, just because I absolutely love the whole starter line of it. Totodile comes in around at like a 7, just because Totodile's a really cool design of a Pokemon. Croconaw, I'd say, you see, the situation changes. I love Totodile, but I'm not a huge fan of Croconaw. So I give Totodile a higher ranking than what I would Croconaw, so I say Croconaw like a 6. For Alligator, definitely a 7. I think he's really, really cool. Dentret, I'd say a strong 4. Not really a massive fan of the design. Furret, I absolutely love. I'd say a strong 6, just because it's so cute. Mewtwo comes in around like a 3. Noctowl comes in around like a 4, maybe? I don't know. Ladybird comes in at a 3. Ledian comes in around like a 4. These two Pokemon are the Pokemon that I never pick up throughout a playthrough, and I don't know if you guys have ever had them, but they're one of those Pokemon I just never pick up, and I never really think that they're a good Pokemon. Spinarak comes in at a 3. Ariados, I'd say a 4. I prefer Ariados over to Spinarak. Crobat definitely is a strong 7. Crobat is such a sick Pokemon. Pinchao, I absolutely love. I think it's super cute, so I'm going to give it around like a 6. Lantern, again, I absolutely love it, so I'm going to give it a 7. Pichu is one of my favorite mons from the Johto region, so just because I'm swayed by that, I'm going to give it a 9. Cleffa, 3. Buff 3. Togepi, I kind of always find it funny with Togepi because it's the first Pokemon you hatch from the egg. So I'll give it a 4. Togetic, I absolutely love. I'll give it a 6. Natu, kind of bad. A 3. Natu, maybe a 4. Its hidden ability is decent. Mareep, I have to give it an 8. I absolutely love Mareep. And Flaffy, I have to give it an 8, and Ampharos, I have to give it a 9, definitely. That whole, you know, from Mareep to Ampharos is just so cute, and I absolutely love each and every single one of them. I usually have, like, either, like, a Mareep on my team to get an Ampharos, or I have something like a Magnemite, because you need a good electric-type Pokemon in the Johto region. So definitely, they all come in around, like, 8 or 9s. Blossom is an absolutely really cool Pokemon. I prefer Blossom over Vileplume, so I'll give it around like a 7. Marill, it's one of those where I used to always pick one up playing through the Hoenn region, so I have to give it around like a 5. Umbreon is such a cool Pokemon, give it a 7. Sudowoodo, just because this Pokemon used to get me so mad when I played through the old games. Even though I knew what to do with the, you know, with the, whatever it's called, with the spray duck, whatever it is you have to give the watering veil. I forget the name, but whatever it was that you had to squirt on Sudowoodo, the squirt bottle, I could never find it. I just couldn't. I don't know how I couldn't find it. So it used to get me so mad, it'd just stand there and wiggle. So I'm going to give it a 6, just for that reason. But overall, it's a cool Pokemon. Politoed, I've never had a Politoed, ever. But I think it's a really cool design. I'm going to say around like a 6. Hoppip, It's one of those again where I don't really pick it up, so I guess it's around like a 6. Skiploom, again, don't pick it up, but I like the design, I like the idea behind it, so I'm gonna say around like a 4. Jumpluff is a really cool mon, but again, I don't really use one, so I'm gonna give it a 4. I prefer Hoppip over them. I think Hoppip's a cuter design. Apom is such a great Pokemon. I'll give it a 7. Sunkern, again, one of those ones where you just don't... I think a lot of Pokemon from the Johto region come into this category where it's one of those where you don't really rank it because you never pick it up. So I'll give it a 3. Sunflora, again, not the best Pokemon in the world. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Yanma, again, 3. Wooper, now... I've only ever had one Wooper, and it put in a lot of work for me when I had it, so I'm going to give it a strong 4. Quagsire, I give it a 5. Espeon, now it's funny enough that Espeon is, again, it's in my top 5 for evolutions, so I'm definitely going to give Espeon an 8. And of course, we have Umbreon, it's got to be a 10. Just because I love Umbreon and the fact that everybody else hates it, that's what I absolutely love about it. I absolutely love Umbreon. I'm going to give it a 10. Murkrow. I love Murkrow. It is such a cool Pokemon. It's a 9 from me. I had one in the verses with Luke, and that was so fun. It put in so much work, and you guys absolutely loved it, like, in the comment section. So I'll definitely give Murkrow, like, a 9. Slowking, again, a Pokemon I never had. I like its idea behind it. I've seen people use it in, like, Wi-Fi battles, so I'll give it a 7. Mistreatus, not a Pokemon I really like. I prefer Mismagius. I'll give it a 4. Unknown, again, one of those mons where it's just an unknown, so I'll give it a 2. Wobbuffet, absolutely despise the Pokemon. Nuzlocke Ruiner, everybody knows that, but its idea behind it, it's super strong, so I'm going to give it a 7. Girafarig is so cute. I absolutely love Girafarig, dude. I had one in my playthrough when I played through Pokemon Emerald, and I absolutely love Girafarig. It's one of those mons where it's not amazing, its stats aren't amazing, but I just love the idea of a Girafarig. Like with the little, you know, with the tail, and it's got the little eyes and mouth. It's so cute. I'm going to give it a strong 8. Pineco, not the best Pokemon in the world, but I prefer Fortress to it, so I'm going to give Pineco around a 4. But I'll give Fortress a 6. Dunsparce, not again, one of the best Pokemon in the world, probably needs an evolution. I'll give it a 4. Gligar is a sick Pokemon, it's super strong, I'm going to give it a 6. Helix, again, one of the favorite ones from the Johto games, I'm going to give it an 8, just because how bulky it is. Snubbull, not the best Pokemon in the world, it's kind of cute, I'll give it a 4. Granbull, not the best again, but I do prefer Granbull over Snubbull, so I will give it around like a 6. Quillfish, super ass Pokemon, don't even like it. I'm going to give it a 3. Scizor, amazing Pokemon from the Johto region. It's probably one of those key Pokemon from it, so I'm going to give it an 8. Jockle, just because I like the idea behind it, I'm going to give it a 6. Heracross, super strong Pokemon. Really happy that it got a Mega Evolution. I'm going to give it a 7. Sneasel's a really cool Pokemon. I prefer Weavile over to Sneasel, but I've had Sneasel in competitive battling before, and he put in the work. So for that, my love for Sneasel kind of blew up, so I'm going to give it an 8. Teddiursa, again, it was one of those Pokemon that I've only ever had once, and I had an Ursaring back when I was going to take on Red. So it's one of those where I think for nostalgic reasons, I'll give it a 6. Ursaring, I'm going to give it a 7, just because it's a terrifying Pokemon. Slugma, not a huge fan of Slugma, but it gets the job done when you need a fire type. I'm going to give it a 3. Magcargo, again, it's one of those Pokemon I've never had, but I think it's a funny design, so I love it for that, so I'm going to give it a 6. Swinub, again, kind of bad Pokemon. I'll give it a 3. Piloswine, not the best in the world, so I'm going to give it around like a 5. Corsola, not the best in the world again. I've never had a Corsola. I think it's one of those Pokemon where it's better to shiny hunt because I prefer the shiny form to it, because its shiny form is a lot better than what its original form is like. So I'll give it a 4. Remorai, a Pokemon that I never understood how it evolved into Octillery when it's on Mantine's wing. I always thought it evolved into Mantine a long time ago, so I'll give it a 3. Octillery, again, I've had one in a Let's Play before. It's done a lot of work for me, so I'm going to give it a 5 just for that reason. Delibird, again, not a Pokemon I'm hugely fond of, but it's a cool idea and I like the design and a lot of guys really like it, so I'll give it a 5. Mantine, I'm going to give you a 6. Just because I've got a lot of respect for Mantine for what he did for me in a Let's Play. My whole team was getting absolutely destroyed and Mantine came through and saved me, so I'm going to give it a 6 just for that. Skarmory is such a great Pokemon. It's great and competitive. I think its design is absolutely amazing, so I'm going to give it a 7. Houndour is so cute. Absolutely love it. I'm going to give it a 9. Doom is amazing. The fact that it gets a Mega Evolution and it looks hella crazy, I'm going to give it a 9. Indra is one of my faves. I'm going to give it a 10. I absolutely love Kingdra. It literally ranks up there with Umbreon from the Johto region. I absolutely love it. I'm going to give it a strong 10. Bambi, again, it's super cute. I've never really had one, but I like the idea behind it, so I'm going to give it a 6. Donphan, I've had before. Amazing Pokemon, put in a ton of work. I'm going to give it a 7. Porygon 2 is actually, you know, a really decent Pokemon. I prefer Porygon 2 over to Porygon Z or the first Porygon. I absolutely love it. I'm going to give it a strong 8. Standler is one of those Pokemon where I always used to get it confused, because back in the old games, I'd always think it was a legendary Pokemon whenever I ran into it. I remember I was trying to hunt Suicune, Raikou, and Entei, and I could never find it, and I always ran into a Standler, you know, from Ekrutik when you go down to the route, and I always thought it was the legendary Pokemon at first, so for that reason, it used to get me so mad, but it's a cool Pokemon, but it's not one of my faves, so I'll give it a strong 5. Mirgul, kind of bad, I'll give it a 3. Tyrogue is a cool Pokemon. I like the idea you get Hitmontop, Hitmonlee, and Hitmonchan from it, but it's not one of my faves, so I'm going to give it a 4. Hitmontop, super dope Pokemon. I absolutely love it. I prefer Hitmontop over Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, so I'm going to give it a 6. Moochum is pretty bad. I'm going to give it a 3. Elekid is not one of my favorites. I'll give it a 3. Magby is super sick. I love it. I'm going to give it a 5. Miltank is amazing. I absolutely love Miltank. It's put in the work, and whenever I always have one, I always call it Casey. And it's put in work from when I've had it from like competitive battling, when I've had it in Let's Plays. It's so good of a Pokemon, so I'm going to give it a strong 8. Palissy is one of those where I've never had. I've got one in Pokemon Go, but I barely play Pokemon Go. But it's a cool idea of a Pokemon, but its attack stats ain't the best. Its HP is amazing, but I'm going to give it a 4. Coming to Raikou, absolutely amazing Pokemon. I have to give it a 9. Entei is absolutely incredible. I love the whole dogs. They're all ranking up like 9. So Entei gets a 9. Suicune gets a 9, definitely. Larvitar is one of those mons I've only ever had once in a Let's Play, and I evolved it all the way into a Tyranitar. It was absolutely beautiful, so I'm going to rank it at a 9. Pupitar is one of those where I prefer the first evolution and the last evolution, so for me, I think Pupitar ranks a little bit lower than Larvitar and Tyranitar, just for the reason that I find it really, really hard to train up, so I'm going to give it around like a 7. And of course, Tyranitar is absolutely amazing. I'm going to give it a 10. Lugia, I prefer Ho-Oh to Lugia, but Lugia is such an amazing Pokemon, so I'm going to give it an 8. And Ho-Oh, absolutely, I love. I'm going to give it a 9. And then we finish off the list with Celibate. Now, I've never had a Celibate ever in my life. I wanted to shiny hunt one for a long, long time on Virtual Console on my 3DS. I never got around to it, but I have respect for Celibate. I think it's a really cool onion Pokemon looking, so I'm going to give it a 9, definitely. And that's going to wrap up the video right here. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Of course, don't take anything too serious. This is just my opinion. And of course, I know how the opinions go on the internet. But let me know what your favorite Pokemon is from the Johto region. And if you guys would like to see a Kanto edition of this or a Hoenn edition of this, make sure to just leave a like for me. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. And of course, subscribe for more daily Pokemon videos like this one and top 5s and Let's Plays, of course. With all that being said, I've been FeintAttacks. You've been amazing as always. And I will see you guys back in a brand new video next time.